Hello and welcome to another episode of DC Alliance. I am not joined by Joe, as always. Chapter 225 of the DC Alliance podcast. This is a solo episode this week. Joe is still off, and I did not want to skip 2 weeks, especially after catching up on my adventures with Superman, as well as all the news that we have revealed. So I'm excited to talk about all that. The week has been long, annoying, and I basically destroyed my toe this morning getting up out of bed too quickly to run and let the dog out. And yeah, I destroyed my pinky toe across the door facing and cracked it diagonally. I won't get too specific, but pretty down far. And yeah, it's been painful. It was not fun. Uh, and it still hurts a lot. And an old lady, about 83 years old, told me to burn in hell today at work. So, yeah, fun end to my Friday. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about some fun things. San Diego Comic-Con, not the old lady that told me to burn in hell. Just asked her to pay her bill. That is it. Yeah, so we have the SDCC 2024 panels really they've been revealed. So I can't wait to talk about all that. Let me get the network plugs out of the way super quick. So we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 7 shows in total. On Mondays, bi-weekly is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the Multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. On Saturdays is DC Alliance. And Sundays monthly is World's Finest True Believers. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All three of those shows also have their own podcast feeds. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, or Star Wars Alliance if you just want DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only. But if you want all 7 shows on the G-Way Podcast Network, stay subscribed to G-Way on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. $1 tier is basically a tip jar like we're doing. You want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras. You get your ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes. Myself and Joe are going through all the DC films through the years. On deck for us is Superman Returns. That should come up in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that, patrons. We also have the Marvel Alliance guys, Chris and Brent, doing their Tales from the House of X, going over their favorite Fox, X-Men, Marvel films, I guess we'll call it that. They did Deadpool 1 and 2 and Logan so far. So they're obviously building up to the movie that's dropping in a couple weeks. I can't wait to see. So be on the lookout for that, patrons. They drop one once a month. We also have their Infinity Saga on the back catalog for the patrons. So they talked about every chapter of the Infinity Saga. So go back, look at that. We also have over 24 pieces of DC films through the years as well. And we have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where Joe right now is doing his Disney deep dives, taking a look at an old Disney film, giving a review, but also telling you some fun behind the scenes facts. So we thank everyone that's a patron. But if you're not a patron, you can take a quick 30 to 60 seconds to rate and review on your podcast app of choice. It's greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the show, and that's always a good thing. Okay. I am very excited to get into this first topic tonight, listeners, because I was wondering what DC would look like at Comic-Con this year, especially with the kind of rumors that Marvel's going to be a bit bigger there. And then we get this awesome trailer. A part of me wants to talk a little bit about that trailer to do a kind of riff off what Chris and Brent did with Marvel Alliance, but no, I'm too excited to talk about this SDCC lineup. So we're going to jump in right away and talk about Thursdays first. It's going to be 12:45 to 1:45, Absolute Power, DC's comic panel. So it says join some of DC's top storytellers and can't miss panel that dives deeper into DC Comics 2024 blockbuster summer event and beyond. Room 6DE. I think Phil is actually going to DCC Unfiltered on Twitch, I guess now, which is going to be pretty cool. I think he told me that a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure about Absolute Power. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm still hesitant about that from what I've seen so far. I'm going to give it a chance, obviously, but still, I am a little hesitant. Given just some of the artwork and that I've seen so far. So that is one I will be paying attention to what comes out of that one for sure, but that one might not haul me in as much. There's another panel here on at 1:45 to 2:45 on Friday. DC Comics president, publisher, and chief creative officer, is on hand to bring out a few friends and for discussions and reveals that will have everyone talking long after the con is over. You won't want to miss this one in the same room as the absolute power. And yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure. I know Jim Lee took a little bit of flack a few weeks ago about charging for a commission, and I'm like, if you want to like your own one of one from Jim Lee, I'm sorry, you're going to have to pay for it. So yeah, and then on Friday as well at 8:15 to 9:15, Harley Quinn and Kite Man. Hell yeah, the Max original panel. Okay, I was like, that's not the title, but no, this is just the breakdown for it. Featuring sneak peeks at unreleased Kite Man Hell Yeah scenes and a look at what's in store for Harley Quinn's upcoming 5th season. Join the cast and creators for a special discussion spanning both Max original adult animated series from DC and Warner Brothers. Panelists include Lake Bell, Poison Ivy, Matt Oberg, Kite Man, James Edmund, Bane. So no Harley Quinn here, Kaylee Kuko, but Bane is here. So yeah. Couple virtual, Dean Laurie EP virtual, Justin Halpern. I for one, I think Kite Man's coming out next week, so Kite Man will be out before this, the first episode at least. So I guess we're going to show you more ahead. I am very skeptical about Kite Man, very skeptical. Harley Quinn, I'm not going to lie, first couple seasons super unique, but the last couple seasons been a little meh for me. It hasn't changed a lot. I really didn't enjoy the whole Bat Family mystery and Harley ending up killing people. That was just a meh for me in the season. So I'm hoping the next season of Harley Quinn will be better. But yeah, this show is starting to wane for me on excitement. DC's not done though. On Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., they're going to talk about a show that I adore. My Adventures with Superman, a screening presentation and panel. So join executive producers Jake Wyatt, Josie Campbell, Brendan Colger, and voice cast members Jack Quaid, Alice Lee, Ismail Saeed, and Kiana Madeira as they answer your burning questions from season 2. Plus, get the early scoop on all the action, comedy, and romance that awaits Clark, Lois, and Jimmy in season 3. Airing on Adult Swim, My Adventure with Superman, and was produced. So again, I think this is pretty cool. I'm doing the math in my head about the episodes. They won't be done this season when this panel is out, but it'll be pretty close to it. I will be really interested to hear about, or will they be done? Oh, I don't know how many episodes are left. I think there's only one, maybe two. So yeah, nope, it still will be finished. Yeah, this week and next week. So tonight, yeah, okay. So it will be finished. So we'll get the tea about the whole season, and then we'll get some stuff about season 3. That's nice. I'm really glad this is a panel. In this show, if you haven't checked out My Adventures with Superman, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later after the news, the 2 episodes that we already had. But you're really missing out. Give it a chance to. Give it a few episodes. It takes a few episodes, especially if you're not a fan of anime overall, because I do feel like it takes a lot from the anime genre. So, but give it a chance. There's a lot of heart in that show. And they're doing a lot of things right. And a lot of things that I feel like James Gunn will be doing similar to. So we're going to probably my second most excited for panel of the ones that DC has, and that is Superman Lois, a special video presentation. Oh, not as much. Special video presentation and Q&A. So join executive producer Todd Helberg and Brent Fletcher with series stars Tyler Hickman and Elizabeth Tulloch as they make their Comic-Con debut. Oh my God, they've never been to Comic-Con before. How sad. In Hall H. After season 3 ended on a major cliffhanger, fans won't want to miss an exclusive trailer. Yes. Exclusive trailer for the epic final season, and learn what's in store for Clark and Lois as Clark and Lois continue to navigate the challenges of parenthood while saving the world. Season 4 of Superman and Lois returns with a special 2-hour premiere event on Thursday, October 17th on the CW, and then based on characters. So we're getting a trailer for my event for Superman and Lois, the final season. Yes, it's basically going to be a showdown of Lex with Clark. With Superman and the family. I don't know how they're going to do this. He doesn't know that Clark is Superman, I don't think. So, yeah, very interested to see how this final season plays out, how this trailer's going to look. Obviously, the CW was purchased by Nexstar, and I wonder if they put in the same amount that the show needs. I really hope that it does not suffer and the VFX are not great. Uh, so next for the panels on Saturday from 12:30 to 1:30. What's happening in DC Multiverse, DC Comics panel. Hear directly from some of the superstar writers and artists that are creating epic new storylines that push DC's superheroes and supervillains beyond their limits in bold new adventures. Same room as all the other comic panels. Then 1:45 to 2:45, uh, Gotham City, DC Comics panel, walking dark, gritty streets of DC Universe with the DC top talent for news and surprises involving Batman and other protectors of Gotham City. There we go. Here's the one. Here's the next two are the two ones I'm most excited for, and Superman and Lois is a close third to these. So the first one from 2:45 to 3:45 on Saturday, right? Saturday, yes. Batman Cape Crusader screening, presentation, and panel. So this August 1st entire season drops. So it says join executive producers Matt Reeves and cast members Hamish Linklater, Jamie Chung, and Mimi Driver for the world premiere screening of the upcoming and highly anticipated series, followed by a moderated Q&A where they will discuss their characters and tease storylines for the upcoming seasons from Warner Brothers Animation, Bad Robot Productions, 6th in Idaho. I guess, is that the first thing that Bad Robot Productions produced in DC? I do think so. I'm not 100% though. Based on DC characters, the series is the reimagining of the Batman mythology through the visionary lens of executive producer J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and Bruce Timm. Batman Cape Crusaders, more executive producers. Ed Brubaker, James Tucker, Daniel Pipsky, Rachel Rusk, and Sam Register. So I'm excited about this. I don't think we'll get anything extra coming out of this in terms of footage, maybe a minute or so of something. There was a 30-second clip released today from this, and it looked a lot of the Batman vibes with the car, the way it was shot. Shout out Matt Reeves. I'm sure he has something to do with that. This thing here is going to be great. I'm excited. These are DC's big things that they have going here, and Matt Reeves is part of it. And we'll flash to the second thing, the thing I'm most excited for, because I already know when this is dropping in the meat of this, is the Penguin HBO original panel. And they've moved the Penguin from a Max original to a HBO original. It's going to go on HBO first. The HBO original limited series from Warner Brothers Television DC Studios continues Matt Reeves' The Batman epic crime saga and centers on the character played by Colin Farrell in the film. The series debuted on HBO in September. I have the date later in DC News. Panelists include Colin Farrell, virtually as Oz Cobblepot, Christina Milioti as Sophia Falcone, Renzi Feliz as Victor Elgar, Matt Reeves, EP, Lauren LaFranc, showrunner Dylan Clark, moderated by Josh Horowitz in Hall H. So I really think they will ask Matt Reeves some stuff about the Batman from this. I really do. The Batman Part 2. They'll try and pry. There is no panel for that, obviously. I'm a little sad. I'll talk about it in a second, but what we don't really have. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I am assuming we'll get the final trailer. Well, yeah, the final trailer, maybe, or another trailer or a teaser spot, or maybe even a scene from this. And I'm really interested to see what Matt Reeves has to say about the Batman going forward, the Batman world. I'm hoping that stays. I know I've talked to Snell about this in the Geekverse chat, in the GUA chat, sorry, about I really think as long as this is successful, I don't know if I wonder if Superman 2025 will make more than the Batman did. And that's a question for me. I think that if it doesn't, I don't think there's going to be much stopping Matt Reeves' trilogy, especially if the second one does numbers. So I hope we get this. I can't wait to see the Penguin. It is probably my most anticipated live action DC project for the rest of the year. It's Batman Cape Crusaders is definitely my number one, just on sheer love of Batman animation. And also, how many days? I think in 5 days, Justice League Christ Son of Earth Part 3 comes out, and I'm really, really fearful as to what they have done with Kevin Conroy, if he's in this, if he's voicing it. Because for the first two, if you can watch a recap video, my suggestion is watch a recap video. On Sunday, there's a DC book club, DC Comics panel. Uh, there's some DC shop exclusives there as well. Let me see here. Creature Commando merchandise, McFarlane Toys exclusive. I thought there was a Creature Commando panel too here somewhere. It was rumored from, I think, a tweet I seen earlier. I don't see anything about it here. Just again, more in depth about some toys that they're going to talk about. So yeah, the big heavy hitters obviously are Batman, Caped Crusader, the Penguin, and Superman and Lois. In my opinion, those are the three that I want to know. And then we have a couple others there that, again, I'm interested in. My adventure with Superman, season's over, just be a bit of talk about the other season, and Harley Quinn and Kite Man. Those are the other two actual projects going on. So yeah, pretty big panel for some thought. Now, disappointment obviously is the disappointment is no Superman 2025 panel. I would love to have them fly in, just do a quick Q&A, maybe show one VFX shot of him flying, or show one thing. You don't have to, it could be even Clark, show scene of Clark, like the one we saw of him hitting up against the crowd. Just show that, just think about how much Matt Reeves showed in the Batman, in that trailer for DC Fandom, with only, a certain percentage of it done. It was impressive. So I want to see something from James Gunn. He said he wasn't going to be there. A little sad that that's the case. I know he won't even be back for Superman 2025 for SDCC next year, because it'll already have come out. So yeah. Ooh, got an exclusive that came out. I don't know if it's 100%. Couldn't find the page. The post is here. It says that Kamali Najati joins DC Universe as Booster Gold. Oh, that is an interesting casting if that's the case. That is an interesting casting. Apparently, it's super exclusive. Just came right off the hop. That's interesting to me. I'm gonna be honest with you, did not have that in my bingo card. Anthony Starr was the leader at the clubhouse, but again, I do think he is hilarious. He's been really fun in several videos. I have several videos, several films. I thought he was good in Eternals, to be honest with you. I thought he was good. I thought it wasn't his fault the way his character was written, in terms of running away and then coming back, and then not running away and not being part of the fight. But that wasn't him. From the dialogue and the discussion between people, I thought he was really funny. And I do think he was in a movie with Dave Bautista, and I can't remember what it's called right now, but I thought his back and forth there was really good with a buddy cop style. So I'm hoping some of that carries over here. That's super interesting. I think that's the first time that we have gotten actual news while we were live that came up. And yeah, I'm here for it, to be honest with you. I'm here for stepping outside the box. I never judge a casting until I actually see it. And I think he's good at the banter. I think he's good at the back and forth, the give and take, the Gilmore Girls side of things, as Allison likes to tell me, with somebody giving to you, you give it right back to him. I do think he's really good at that. Chirping, we would say, on the ice. So, actually, let me click on the article here for a second, because it's working now. So I'm going to read the article, listeners, at live, just so that we can see what's going on here. There we go. Okay, so we have exclusively learned that Kamali Najani has landed the role of Booster Gold in the DC Universe. Najani is currently set to portray the character in the upcoming DC Studio series Booster Gold, one of the upcoming entries of the highly anticipated DCU. Johnny is best known for his roles as Dinesh on HBO's Silicon Valley, his fictionalized take on himself in his semi-autobiographical feature The Big Sick, and as Kingo, like I said, Kingo? Yeah, as Kingo in Marvel Studios Eternals. I forget half the Eternals names, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's been that long. Booster Gold, or Michael John Carter, first appeared in DC Comics Booster Gold #1 in 1986, created by writer and artist Dan Jurgens. Carter was a star quarterback at Gotham University until his estranged father came back into his life and made him throw his games to win bets. After being exposed, he kicked off the university team, expelled from Gotham University, leading him to take on a position as a museum night guard. After stealing a robot psychic named Skeet, a power suit, and a Legion of Superheroes flight ring, and a time sphere, he traveled back to time to present day to make a new name for himself as a superhero. So yeah, that's in February. Daniel RPK reported on X that Booster Gold had been cast. Last month, Nexus Point News reported that multiple writers had come on board to write the series. As reported, the writing team will consist of Danny McBride, John Cassieri, and Jeff Fradley, frequent collaborators who are best known for the work on The Righteous Gemstones. I've never seen that, but I've heard that is funny as well. Johnny, a friend of Gunn, recently quoted an image of the official Superman logo with replying with "in," which fuels speculation regarding role for DCU for him. Now, that wouldn't fuel my speculation, as he's just saying is Superman. James Gunn said in exactly 1 year, Superman opens to over all over the world. He said "in," like he'd go watch it, but because if that's I hope that's not what is sending you down the path that he is Booster Gold. Like, I hope there's more concrete than him quote tweeting James Gunn, because he's basically saying that he'll go to the film. So, go to Superman 2025. So, maybe hold pause there. But yeah, exciting news. I'm here for it if it's the case. I'm still a little hesitant. Obviously, we wait until James Gunn says something. James will come out tomorrow, post "No way, Jose" to this. But until then, chalk it up as another DCU project getting up and running. So, listeners, we'll take our first ad break of the evening. We're an ad-supported network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. Give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. A little bit of a late break there, listeners. I'm going to blame Joe for that, as he's not here to crowd me in and make sure I do the ad times correctly. So, now that breaking news, Booster Gold has been cast. We'll see. Let's get into the DC news that we have here, and we have trailers. Like I said before, Creature Commandos. It's said from Big Screen Leaks that it will have its trailers showcased at SDCC, and maybe that's the trailer that people have already seen. So first thing we got, and I saw this take a lot of crap, is a trailer for Watchmen. So I'm going to share my screen for Watchmen Chapter 1, and we will talk about that right now. It's rated R. This is a Red Band trailer. Shout out to whoever's doing the Rorschach voice, because you completely nailed it. And this looks exactly like the comic. This animation style is a little what ify to me, a little bit more than, let's say, Superman, Batman, Battle of the Super Sons. So we see, obviously, comedian, total arsehole, pardon my French. But again, like I said, this looks exactly like the comic, And I did see a question that I will talk about a little bit here, like Rorschach investigating. I may watch this, and again, I'm not going to give any flack to anyone to this. I know a couple of friends who watched The Dark Knight Part 1 and Part 2 animated film, which is pretty much exactly an adaptation like this from the comic, as close as you can. And we see here Dr. Manhattan's giant blue dick there for a second. And then he's obviously his external crisis. I wonder, are they going to do the squid, or are they going to put it more like the way Snyder had it in his live action film? But yeah, we see everything here is straight out of the comics. Everything. There isn't nothing here that makes me think otherwise. Some of this stuff was in the film as well. Obviously, it was pretty close adaptation. But the question, like as people say, why do you make this? Like, why is this needed? And again, like I said, I have friends who went and read the Dark Knight Returns comic after they watched the animated film because they thought it was so cool. Uh, and maybe this might push some people to read Watchmen, but it is an exact adaptation. But again, like I said, you don't need to watch it. You can just say no if you've seen this before. You can just say no and not have to watch Watchmen, the animated film. It's fine, and they do this because of the rights. If they don't put out content with this, the rights will reverberate back. So that's why they do this every so often when they can't think of an idea, because that's how petty studios, well, not petty, it's smart business management, IP management. You could sell that IP after. So it's not, or maybe you can't. Maybe you have a contract where you can't sell it and it reverts back. So you just keep it and just produce content with it rather than lose it for nothing. Uh, I know Alan Moore will not be watching this, and you can join him if you like. I may check this out. I probably will and review it on Animation Nation, but I don't know. It might not be a day one watch for me because again, I've read the comic. I've watched every other iteration of Watchmen that's been out. Like, there was an old animated series too, like way back in the day, like cartoon days for Watchmen. Like they thought that would be the answer to the other superheroes at the time. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And dates here for that is Watchmen Chapter 1 arrives August 13th, 2024 on digital media and August 27th, 2024 on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and regular Blu-ray from Warner Brothers Discovery Home Entertainment. Get all the press details and package artwork over at WF. So yeah, we get the two different uh, covers here. I do like the first one better. The second one, I've seen it before. So yeah, again, if you don't want it, if you're asked why is this needed, you don't have to watch it. They just need to put out content to keep the IP. So we have another trailer here, and this one is for the show that I was hesitant about when we talked earlier, and this is Kite Man. Hell yeah! So give me a second to clue this one up. Okay, so whoops, there we go. Okay. So we have Bane coming in, obviously, and this is a crossover from the Harley Quinn universe, so we're going to get a lot of the same villains, the same voice actors. Uh, and again, he's going out. He's with uh, Golden Glider now. He has rebounded from Poison Ivy. Uh, and they co-own the bar, the villains bar that people come and visit. I think or come frequent. And yeah, we're gonna have Kite Man's gonna try and level up per se, and yeah, it doesn't work. Classic Kite Man. Kite Man. He hits the power line, and now he's getting peed on by a dog. Uh, so I don't know how this is going to be. To be honest with you, he's going to own Noonan's bar, and again, I like Bane. It seems like they're featuring Bane a lot. So if Bane is one of his go-to villains and he's there all the time rather than infrequently like in Harley Quinn, I'm going to enjoy this. Because Bane was one of my favorite characters. So yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I know Bane's going to be in this a lot just from seeing this trailer. Uh, Darkseid is here as well. I we'll see. Harley Quinn was good. The first few seasons were super cool and interesting. So I wonder. I assume we'll probably see Harley Quinn in the first episode or the last episode, and that's it. So yeah, Kite Man, hell yeah, July 18th. Uh, so the final scene is Darkseid having a tea, iced tea, and Lee Trevino. What kind of joke was that? Random Leech for Venus right one. I thought this was a terrible joke to end off this trailer. So yeah, again, Kite Man, hell yeah. Very, very, very skeptical of that property. The final trailer that we have here, or a teaser, I call this, is the Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. So Batman Ninja apparently did enough to get a sequel. I thought it was okay. I I probably would have chose a different route, but yeah. So the ninja who battled feudal Japan has returned once again, and then we see the portal opening up and Batman coming out again. Uh, but now here, all the Justice League are evil parts of the Yakuza, and he has to fight them. Uh, I think Green Lantern is Jessica Cruz, and the rest are the normal counterparts. And Batman has Damian this time, so it's Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. So yeah, again, another one that I may check out. It's interesting. I like when DC takes steps out and tries and branches out and tries new things. So three trailers, three properties there. So I'll probably check them all out, and I'll let you know. But Kite Man, I'm very hesitant. Kite Man comes out in 6 days, so next Thursday. I'll check out the first episode. So I'll probably talk about the first episode of Kite Man next week and just preview that. So we have a couple, I guess, shots from Superman 2025. I don't want to talk too much about that. I don't want to get too spoilery if people are avoiding the set photos. There's one cool one of Superman holding a giant uh, oh, bra, block, I'll call it. Uh, which again, it looks cool. It's going to look amazing in film. I don't know if he's throwing it or catching it. That's one of the questions I have. And there's another one here where it's obviously different suits that he has going on. Uh, I won't show some of these pictures, but yeah, you see his normal suit, and then there's a darker blue suit. There's no yellow belt or no red pants. So kind of look a little Henry Cavill the suit there. So yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be Ultraman, and yeah, this is we kind of know Bizarro Ultraman is kind of what we're dealing with here. So yeah, I don't want too many set. I wish the set photos and that would stop in a sense because it's kind of getting ridiculous now. Every day on my timeline is like flooded with set photos. There was a cool one though that came out, which was he has a picture there of the downtown district history of Metropolis. And when you go here, he used the atlas for of the DC universe for everything that was written there in the history of Metropolis. And it says Metropolis also serves as terminus for many railroads. It's just exactly, it's just really taken everything from that, and they have it here. Hold on. Metropolis was founded in 1634 by Dutch settlers prospering in trade for its natural coastal harbors. The first settlement was by Dutchman Paul de Veers, being called the Old City. There's nothing here about Superman. Metropolis is known as the City of Tomorrow, a nickname adapted from our innovation and our hopes for the future. So yeah, it's again, I do like this. Uh, and then they said like he's working on an incredibly detailed world map. So that's another thing I'm interested in seeing, the world map of DC, what the DC world looks like. I like the Earth really. Uh, that is something that again I'm all for. I love these. These are Easter eggs. These are nuggets. These are world building. Is what it is. It's world building. It's no different for me than the Kryptonian symbols on Superman's suit in Man of Steel. So these kind of things add to the lore, and I'm all for them. Uh, so yeah, it's cool that he's using that. And again, he even has a map of Metropolis that came out. This came from Greater Cleveland, and it's a pretty cool map here. It's Delaware Day. It's just interesting downtown Metropolis they have here. I love these little Easter eggs. These things are super interesting to me. I hope Gotham isn't right next bay. I hope it's an hour away, a little bit away. That's one of the things I didn't like about the DCEU was how close those two cities were. And the final thing here, Uh, we got a Lord Tech field, uh, an actual like overhead view of the field. It has Lord Tech going on the sides and the meteors, Metropolis meteors. Pretty cool here. That's using the Cleveland Indian field and repurposing it, and I'm all for it. They did the same thing in the Dark Knight trilogy. So we also have the official S-Crest that was tweeted out by James Gunn saying in exactly 1 year, Superman opens all over the world. And yeah, that looks pretty tight. Not gonna lie, that looks sleek and beautiful. So something that happened while we were away last week, uh, we got a first look at the costumes for Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern Guy Gardner, and Isabella Mercedes Hawkgirl. And there was a lot of crap given online for this, and so a lot of people were saying the suits look bad. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the only one I thought looked a little was Green Lanterns, but they're all made by uh, Lortec. And the helmet for Hot Girl was a little mad, but maybe they'll do some things in post to make that look a little better. I thought that was a little awful the way her helmet looked. It looked like it was straight out of the CW. I thought Mr. Terrific was fantastic. I thought he looked great. Uh, and again, Guy Gardner looks pretty stupid, but these could be stupid because they're made by Lord Tech, who we're not sure if Maxwell Lord is a villain or not. So maybe they'll get off on their own and make their own suits, something a little better. Uh, Maybe, like I said, that's the thing I'm hoping for. Maybe Superman inspires him in more than one way. So yeah, I did see a lot of crap. I'm glad we missed last week because that is something that's so annoying. Let's wait until we see this on film before we go giving crap. The Superman suit looked so much better since the first time we saw it. So yeah, pump the brakes sometimes. Uh, Another cool thing, Christopher Reeve's son, Will Reeve, a real-life news reporter for ABC, will have a role in James Gunn's Superman, portraying a TV news reporter, and we saw a behind-the-scenes clip or shot of James Gunn shaking his hand, and we have a new Superman and Lois title card, thanks to Hope of Krypton 95 for sharing this, and rightly so, they've gone from the Superman Lois with the regular S to Superman Lois with the gold S, and that's the way it should be, because again, this is going to be the final season. I think it's going to be gold. Gold, Jerry, gold. So we found out that the Matt Reeves' The Penguin is starting on September 19th, and it goes September 19th, episode 1, September 26th, episode 2, October 3rd, episode 3, October 10th, episode 4, October 17th, episode 5, October 24th, episode 6, October 31st, episode 7, and November 7th is when the season finale, or the finale of The Penguin ends. So yeah, full straight through content for 8 weeks. Thank you, Matt Reeves. Thank you. Can't wait to talk about those episodes with Joe. So also to promote this, the Ratatelada, whatever that site that they had opened up for the Batman, that is opened up again now. So yeah, again, I think that's pretty cool. I it was interesting. It was like it was a good viral thing for the Batman. I thought that was like a way to clue people in on what was going on. Says the domain has been seized. Oh, and nope, it's starting back up. This is pretty cool. This is like this will get you into this, and I think you can order SDCC tickets from this right now. So, and I assume maybe you might be able to do something uh, about tickets, or they'll give you maybe some hints before this starts. Obviously, you won't need tickets because it's coming on HBO. And yeah, like I said, they changed it to HBO original first. So I saw a tweet today actually about that, saying the potential for this went up 2 tiers for me, and then it did that. I'm like, really? Come on! And they shared a poster for the Penguin as well, with Colin Farrell with his umbrella, with rain coming down over top, from Matt Reeves, the next chapter of the Batman saga. I love hearing that every time. I'll always read it. It's almost like Birds of Prey title. Some people I know like to say that all the time. Me, I'm always going to say that. but the next chapter in the Batman saga. I love it every time I hear it. So, a couple other things here before we finish up with the news. Zolo talks about Blue Beetle animated series. I'm excited to scream Blue Beetle from the mountaintops. I mean, I was ready to do it back in August, and I'm so happy with how that movie came out and the response and the experience was otherworldly for me. So getting to do an animated version of it with the crew and getting to expand and maybe even doing stuff that wouldn't be allowed to do in the movie or in live action is appealing to me. I grew up watching Avatar, The Last Airbender, the old school X-Men show, even some of the newer ones like the animated Space Studio Ghibli. It could be sick. I'm really excited for it, and I hope everybody comes back for it via the AP. And I think he had one other little thing there where he said, getting to expand and maybe even do stuff. Yeah, don't. That's the same thing. So, yeah, I'm excited. I love Blue Beetle. I really enjoyed the film, and I'm glad that they're bringing back the crew for the DCU in animated form. Peacemaker is filming right now, season 2. John Cena, You Can't See Me. And we get a couple behind the scenes shots. It looks like John has slimmed down quite a bit from the first season. Uh, he was jacked in the first season, jacked. So we got a new look at Creature Commandos, which looks basically exactly like any other look we got. Not gonna lie, maybe like there's a hat on the robot now, or a helmet. There's nothing different here. We have all the characters, no different than before. Max is set to appear in December. We still don't have a date in December other than December 2024. The Arkham Asylum series is no longer moving forward at Max, which we kind of knew that was going to happen once it changed from Matt Reeves to DCU. I had a feeling this was not going to come too late. And now the Kingdom Come documentary has been announced. It will be called Legend of Kingdom Come. And let me talk a little tiny bit about that. A documentary charting the creation of 1996 DC comic story Kingdom Come has set a fall 2024 release date, launched a Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign, and debuted its first teaser trailer, all of which the Wraps can exclusively reveal. The Legend of Kingdom Come comes directly from director Ramsey Atassi and producers, the business manager and art dealer for the comics influential artist Alex Ross. Kingdom Come is one of the most acclaimed comic book stories of all time, featuring breathtaking painted art from Ross and a story written by Mark Waid. It tells the tale of a future where young superheroes have taken over, but abandon the fight for good until Superman is pressed to return from retirement to again bring hope to mankind. The Legend of Kingdom Come documentary will be an exploration of the mad, relentless dedication that goes into producing the stunning art form and what it takes for an artist to achieve greatness. So yeah, I don't see the exclusive trailer here. There's a cool image. They're going to talk about this a little bit more at FDCC, I think. So yeah, I don't see the exclusive. So the Kickstarter campaign is live here. So yeah, they have 1,682 followers right now. Pretty cool. There's nothing else here right now. It's just a bare bones thing. There's nothing here, but yeah, I will be checking this out when this comes. Fun. So, Bruce Timm talks a little bit about the Batman before we get into some of my adventures with Superman. Bruce Timm talks about Batman and Alfred in the Caped Crusader. He weaponizes Alfred. He's not Batman's surrogate father anymore. He's a guy that's going to enable him to fight crime. That's how focused Bruce is. It's a weird take on him, but it's something I don't think we've seen before. Bruce Timm also says that Batman and Caped Crusader is so early into his career that the first episode he's still an urban myth, and it's not year 1, but it's more like week 2. Which all these things, yes, please. Oh, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Yeah, it has been a while. Family's doing well. Little one is growing quite a bit and loves to get into badness. Hope all is well on your end as well. I can't wait for Caped Crusaders coming out August 1st. I'm so excited about this. The little bit of nuggets there. I like when they try stuff different because I can always go back. You can always go back and watch Batman the Animated Series, The New Adventures of Batman and Robin. uh, the Batman Brave and Bold. Am I forgetting any? The Batman, or just called Batman, that CGI one that went for one season. That was pretty good too. Uh, you can go back and watch these. You don't have to if you don't like it, but I am jazzed for it. It's kind of a different take from people that understand Batman, and even just the little clips I've seen is what's got me most excited. So, before we do that, let's before we talk about My Adventure with Superman and end off the night, let's take our final ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're an ad-supported network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, we have My Adventures with Superman Season 2. We have episodes 7 and 8, Olsen's 11, and The Death of Clark Kent. And again, I will tell you guys, if you aren't watching My Adventures with Superman, I don't know what you're doing. It is just a fantastic animated series. It's a great take on some of these characters. I think maybe some of these takes will be similar to Gunn's. I love how Superman is so hopeful. These episodes were off the wall, like literally off the wall, especially the death of Clark Kent. But we'll get into I'll talk a little bit. I'm not going to go talk everything about these episodes because I don't want to ruin them if people haven't seen them. I also don't want to just go word for word about the episode. I'll just talk briefly what I remember about each one, stuff that I enjoyed. Waller announces after Kara comes and beats the crap out of Clark and takes him back to father, as she says, which is Brainiac. And again, love how they do this stuff here. Waller forms the Human Defense Corps, is what it's called, and basically puts Metropolis under martial law, ridding himself for when Superman and the alien invasion occurs. And while this is going on, Lois has come up with a plan to break into Star Labs and steal this new spaceship that they're working on, so they can go and find and save Superman. So Jimmy, ever the loyal friend, which I love, basically is like, yeah, I'm in. What are we going to do? And Jimmy uses all the remaining money, so we're not going to get a counter up top for Jimmy's money anymore going forward. He used it all to get Livewire to help them break into Star Labs to get it. And unfortunately, like I said, Waller has put everything on lockdown, so she controls everything. Star Labs also told her before that anything you need will help with. So yeah, they can go back and forth. Heatwave, Livewire's girlfriend, does not want her to make that call. Doesn't want her to doesn't want her to go to like take a chance. She's like, you don't know how to walk away. And we get a really cool moment at the end that I'll talk about at that. Again, I really loved it. So instead, they're going to get help from Jimmy's two pals, Mala and the Brain. They were traveling the multiverse that came back, and now they hang with Jimmy and have lunch every week. So, yeah, it's awesome. And Lois is there. She has the kryptonite sample that she's going to use on Kara. And Jimmy's there saying to her, like, no, like, you don't have to do that. And obviously, the plan goes completely awry. It does not work out. Waller's there with Slade Wilson and Task Force X are visiting Luthor to see his progress. And yeah, does not work out that well. They are found out pretty quickly. Waller, shout out to Waller, who notices the skip in the one monitor. Fantastic. Just shows how smart and on top of it she is. So then it's basically complete chaos for 4 to 5 minutes of them running around, getting chased by robots. Livewire looks like leaves them, and then Lois sits down and basically cries, says like she never sort of broke up with Clark. She just did it because she thought that's what Clark was going to do eventually, and she just wanted to get ahead of it. And Livewire hears her over the comm, and it's like feel very bad. So actually, Livewire and Heatwave come back and saved him, helped him get out of there. Because first off, Mala and Brain show up, and they're like, because they left to go get one more experimental part for their portal gun. And so yeah, what they do is they show up in the last minute to help them. They get in the ship, but then Lex's robots that he created start to tow the ship back down. But that's when Livewire and Heatwave are activated, and they both take out all of them and they fire off into space, right where they meet up with Kara right away. And that flies us into the second episode. And yes, I did try that, but flies us into uh, Charlie says, show is so good. Love the take on Supergirl in this show as well. Yes, and I do think we're going to get something a little bit similar to that in DCU, Charlie. And I do think we could see Supergirl quicker than we might think in the DCU. So the death of Clark Kent is the episode from last week. And essentially, Brainiac is using, I think it's called the Black Mercy device, to go into Superman's head and basically change his memories. The same thing he did with Kara multiple times, because apparently Kara went to him over and over again. Every time he sent her to a planet, it was like, this planet shouldn't die. Like, they're full of wonderful people, wonderful, and Brainiac erased her memory every single time. Just, man, it's cold. That is cold, stone cold thing to do. And yeah, we'll get there in a little bit here. So yeah, bam. What Brainiac essentially wants to do is put his AI in Superman's body before Kandor falls apart, and Superman fights back against Brainiac. Brainiac tries to use his memories, and first he's looking through his memories to see what he can use to turn them against him, and he finally uh, Superman tries to stop him from getting that connection, knowing that connection, but he finally sees like Lois and Jimmy, how much he means to them. And yeah, it's he eventually he traps them, he traps. It looks like Superman's going to get out of it. Clark's going to get out of it. But yeah, it's not the case, and he traps him in this mind simulation of birth of his family, and Krypton being restored. So yeah, he's stuck in this basically mind loop. And while this is going on, Kara and Jimmy reunite. She's super happy to see Jimmy, and her Lois and Jimmy all develop a plan to save Superman, while Mala and Brain stay behind to repair the ship. So they both three of them go in. This is all fantastic way this is animated. It looks great. And Kara goes to reason with Brainiac while they go to get Superman, but Superman's not where they say he's supposed to be. He's where Kara is. And Brainiac basically confirms, like I said earlier, that he brainwashed her. And Kara goes and destroys his body. It looks like he's done, but if we find out that Brainiac has successfully possessed Superman, he turns Superman's memories around, makes Superman think that Lois and Jimmy don't love him, don't want him to be there. It's a great scene where we're going back and forth, Clark struggling, wondering if, like, what he knows, what he doesn't know, what's real, what actually happened. It's great, especially this doesn't work if we don't come off the heels of Lois breaking up with Clark. That doesn't work. Clark doesn't feel this way. So yeah, shout out to them for doing that too. That's great. So we see Jimmy trying to use the kryptonite on Brainiac, but essentially he ejects him, Lois, and Kara into space, and then teleports away. It's just like, bam, God. Obviously, they're going to go to Earth, I think. And then Mala and Brain rescue the three of them. Well, basically, Kara rescues Lois and Jimmy, and then Mala and Brain rescues them. And Lois reveals at the end that she stole the Black Mercy, and then she puts it on her own head, and essentially, I'm assuming, going into whatever world Clark is, and now she has to find him there. So yeah, these were two fantastic episodes. I really enjoyed it. I do know the Black Mercy used to be the alien plant in the comic. It was in like the Justice League Unlimited season 2, episode 1, I think, or season 1, episode 1, whatever. It was in the first or second season of Unlimited. It again, I enjoyed the change on it. It's like they've done with most things. They've made it more anime like, more robotic in a sense, and I'm all for it. Sign me up. And I do love at the end of this, when at the end of the previous episode, when Deathstroke is chirping Lex, and because all the robots are destroyed. And Waller's like, "Are you kidding me? These are working on only 10% power, and they almost stopped all of this. Everything you need put into this." So, yeah, the next episode we have is Pierce the Heavens Superman, the 9th episode. So Jimmy and Kara race back to Metropolis to try to stop Brainiac's invasion of Earth. Lois tries to free Clark from Brainiac's control, only to lose herself in an alternate reality where Superman never left Krypton. So she'll find that one. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this. And there's 2 episodes left to the season. My Adventure with Supergirl is the 10th episode. Really, really. So yeah, we have 2 episodes left to the season. I'm excited. These 2 were great. Shout out My Adventure with Superman. Like I said, if you're not watching this, please jump in. You'll have 2 fantastic seasons to go through in a couple weeks. That's pretty much everything for this week, listeners. We forged on without Joe, and we survived. We'll be back next week, the both of us. So until then, see you, everyone.